Happening now, it's day 2 of early voting after a record number of voters turned out on day 1. According to county election officials, more than 10,000 ballots were cast in Cameron County yesterday and more than 20,000 in Hidalgo County. Our Brian Svensson joins us now live from an Hidalgo County polling location with more. Brian.
That's right, Frank. I'm here at the Lark Community Center in McAllen, where voters and workers here, volunteers here, tell us that all day it has been busy and it has been steady. The latest numbers we have from Hidalgo Elections Commissioner Administrator Ilda Salinas showed over 12,000 people had already cast ballots as of late this afternoon, and most of those voters came here. Now, for context, according to the county's website, the second day of early voting for the last presidential election in 2020 saw a little over 16,000 votes, so the county could meet or exceed its numbers from 4 years ago. Reporting from the Hill says the large numbers we're seeing could be explained by the fact that there are just more Texans and Texas voters than in the past. There's been a 15% increase in the number of residents between 2016 and this year, and voter registrations have gone up even more, outpacing that population growth. Of course, the numbers alone won't tell us how people are voting or why they're opting to vote early rather than waiting for Election Day.
Even before I could vote, I was already kind of getting into politics a little bit. So I was like, oh, if I could vote, I would. But once I got that over that threshold, I was like, yeah, I'll vote. And so now it's more like, let me just vote early. I've been voting the last couple elections. I'd rather just get out of the way early. That way I wouldn't have to deal with everything last minute. I mean, things get rowdier on election day, so.
Early voter Isaac Signs there says he's a voter who will vote for the candidate over the party. And he says he's interested in office holders' voting records to see how closely they match with his values. Now, over in Cameron County, we spoke with Elections Administrator Remy Garza earlier, and he says he won't have numbers for today until after 7 o'clock when the polls close, and then those numbers will be uploaded to the county's website. But he did tell me that they were also on pace to exceed the 2020 numbers for day 2 of early voting. For NBC 23 live in McAllen, I'm Brian Svensson.
Wow, thank you so much, Brian. Now, if you plan on heading to the polls before you head out to vote, be sure to have your voter ID and one of the following materials to vote. It includes a driver's license, election identification certificate, military identification card, or passport. For the full list, you can visit valleycentral.com. Texans will have the opportunity to vote for several federal, state, and local officials, including president, of course. On your screen now are early voting locations in 2 of the biggest counties in the valley. Over in Cameron County, you can vote at the Brownsville Public Library's main branch or at the San Benito Community Building. In Hidalgo County, you can vote at the Sergeant Fernando de la Rosa Library in Alamo or at UTRGV Student Academic Center on its Edinburgh campus. Early voting runs until Friday, November 1st.